Hey everyone, there's a couple swears in this episode, just so you know. Welcome back to Fast Attack Slow Release. I'm your host, Nate Brown. We're here with Drew Olson from Black Void. How are you, bud?
Hello. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I know you. We go back a few years. You started Black Void, the record label, like 5-6 years ago.
Correct.
And we did a bunch of recording together for a while. And I've always thought you were a really cool guy. And like I think artistically, you kind of, helped me grow as an audio engineer, doing a lot more hip hop than I was used to.
Right.
And that's
cool,
like,
man.
that's one of my main clientele now is hip hop guys. So,
Dude, no way.
yeah, we actually, we had Yellow Wolf in here a couple weeks ago.
Oh, what?
Yeah. It was, he was cool. Like, it just called me last minute, like, hey, can we record today? I know it's last minute. Like, they were super nice the whole time.
Wow.
And, like, yeah, it was cool.
That's sick. I know he like either had like dropped a new project or it's like on the way.
Oh,
is that right? Like
I wasn't even here for the
you?
session. I had my friend Mike from, we actually interviewed him a couple episodes ago. I was working at Performance Audio that day, so I had Mike engineer it, and like I dealt with him and the manager on the phone, and like Mike said, he was just like super professional, really easy to work with, really nice. So
just clicked.
Yeah. So, but I think I have you to thank by and large for my experience with like recording and mixing hip hop now. So,
dude. And thank you. Like, you know what I mean? I couldn't have done it without you. And I know Adam AZA was super stoked that we had like clicked so hard, and trying to get back in the swing of things. I think I've got like a lot more people too that are gonna be looking for your services
right on.
As well, just as we start to like operate more as a operate as a record label without being one, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what is it then that Black Void is doing? Because when you started out, you were a pure record label, like the kind of like the old school model, right?
Yeah.
So how does that work for the most part? Because I mean, a lot of people know that record labels exist, and they're kind of like this mysterious thing, like the label, like everyone just wants to get signed by a label because then that's their career, right?
Yeah,
is what they think, and that's not the case.
True.
But so how does it, like the business side of things, I guess, like you fund an artist's album or whatever. How do you get your return on that?
So we would do it like super like bare bones and kind of like in kind of a newbie setting. Like we had an online distributor, so we did distributing mostly just like online through Record Union and stuff like that. And then like by pushing like the performances that we would book for individuals, use that as like a segue to market it. Just super kind of like low level, but like kind of that new age, old age approach. And then hopefully it was like somebody would take notice in that, and then like get the opportunity to go on tour, and then we would do what we can to either help fund that, which I mean didn't end up working, but we had one guy, Matt Zotti, which shouts out to him. He just moved back to Tennessee, but he did like a bout of shows like on the East Coast, and then he got some recognition from Ausla, their Nest HQ dealio, where they highlight artists and that are on the rise, and they kind of do like mixes and stuff. But that was super cool. and then just like transitioning into like this new thing because like the core group of people that I was working on it with
Mm-hmm.
kind of disbanded, and me and my ex-girlfriend broke up, and she was like a big part of the thing.
Yeah.
And like everybody was like kind of going their own separate ways, and people were moving, just like a whole thing. So I was like, what about that can I like restructure and like still keep the flame alive? And I found that by doing like the shows, because I loved doing the shows. Everything else was like, it was cool, but it was like really hard to monetize just through one thing and one group of like
Through one channel.
young people,
Yeah.
trying to get it together, who are like, A, we don't have like really any experience or anything,
Mm-hmm.
and like B, we're like just starting out. So
Yeah.
I think now like the second time around, after meeting with my other buddies, Chibo and Randy, who are now both co-owners
Mm-hmm.
of the company, and they're like super into it. They dove right in like the second that I brought it to their attention to do shows and
Mhm.
like make it about the experience. Like they had just gone to Bonanza, which was like I think the first music festival they attended, which
Okay.
shout out to them. It's sad. I don't know if are they doing another thing?
There's
you know?
some weird thing going on. So Bonanza Camp Out, which got really big, really fast.
Right.
But the local legislature didn't like the way they were handling liquor sales, is what I had heard.
Oh, and that was like the core thing.
Mm-hmm. So they're trying to navigate that. They're talking about moving it to a new state, which is sad. It's sad to see something so homegrown, pure Utah have to get moved because we got in our own way. But,
oh, that sucks.
I'm not a political
Right.
talking head, but yeah, I mean, I hope they're able to do it because,
Mhm.
like, I mean, Bonanza, Danny Bateman, had he's a local Salt Lake native, I think native, but and he had a similar vision to you, just like let's mix up the local talent on a big stage with a global act.
Mhm.
And he did a lot of that. I mean, every year it was like every band that I knew was on the stage at Bonanza. And that was such a good thing, I think.
Yeah, that's
for local
monumental
music.
for the scene.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, so if it does move states, that'll really bum me out.
Yeah, that would really blow, because I know a lot of people like were looking forward to it. We were gonna have like a little tent there just with like stickers and stuff to give people, and just like kind of like party with the crowd and just experience it, because I had actually never been, and I was bummed because I was in Spain at the time where it happened, not this past year but the year before.
I remember seeing your pictures from Spain.
Yeah,
It made me really want to go.
that's when I like decided to jump back into Black Void, and
cool.
it was like perfect timing, because Randy and Jibo had been to Bonanza, and like they freaked so hard on like just music and life. It was like the stars aligned in a way to like dive back into it.
That's cool. I mean, it's kind of funny how both music and travel can like bring you to, like, I think they kind of, in a lot of ways, kind of inspire me the same way. Like, the second I step back and like devote some time to either making or really interacting with music and or traveling, basically I think just unplugging in general, like things, like you realize things, you know what I mean? Even for me, it was like I went on paternity leave, and it was like all of a sudden I was just like, oh, these are things that I can do to help myself professionally, and it was just stepping away from it and forgetting about it for like a week or 2 weeks,
and being more in your head rather than to like into your work, like almost, and just being able to process more internally more than externally.
And I think it was I hope someone will write in and correct me if I'm completely wrong about the person and job, but I think it was like Einstein developed, like, just thought of the his general theories of relativity while he was working some nothing job like a dishwasher or something.
That makes so much sense, honestly.
Yeah, it's like that. I think it's that simple, mindful thing. That's why I like building my own cables, actually, is because it's like it requires just enough of your attention to just kind of like clear your head of everything else.
Right.
And then you're like you're just clear and you're reset, you know? So, I mean, I think I even forgot what we were talking about. But
that makes total sense, dude. I work a sushi joint downtown currently, and we don't have a dishwasher, so we have to wash our own dishes, so it gets like slammed. And then like I kind of enjoy, like, it's a pain in the ass, but it's kind of cool when like the dishes stack up, because that's when I'm like thinking about like new ideas for Black Void. And that's crazy that you said not that I'm like, you know, comparing myself to Einstein right
You're
now.
a local
but it makes
Einstein.
Sense.
You got the hair for it.
It makes sense that that's like how you would think of ideas. Because also I'm like, I work evenings too, so like my brain is like going crazy at nighttime, and like during the day I'm like super sluggish. But yeah. But as far as Bonanza goes, I hope they still do it here. But if not, I mean, not maybe in the next year or so. We were looking at it, but we talked to the people that own that campground about like potentially doing a festival in the near future, probably in a year or two, hopefully. Okay. So that was something that like we were planning on doing too. Like all the lineup is undisclosed and everything, and just like doing it like on a broader scale. Maybe not 3 days, maybe like a day or two, possibly. Yeah. But
just drive up and make some s'mores.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
The
just
s'more
hang out
tent
for a little while.
Some black s'mores. But,
black s'mores.
You know, it's Black Void, BLAQ, by the way. So that would be black. Like the French black s'mores.
So
made with dark chocolate, of course.
Yes. Like, oh my God, I had the dark chocolate Milky Ways. Yeah. They were stacked at work, and I was just like, man, these would go really good in like if like, you know, those graham cracker s'more things, or the not the graham cracker, of course. S'mores go with graham crackers. I was gonna say, but the golden graham cereal. Oh, those like chunky thing. Like if you like combine those, oh my God, it'd be phenomenal.
I think people really limit themselves on s'mores. I think people just go too straight up, like Hershey's chocolate and a marshmallow. Like mix it up, throw a Snickers on there, or I really like to use Symphony bars instead of Hershey's. You get a little bit of that toffee crunch in there. Beautiful. Or last time I took one of those like fudge brownie sandwich things, and I used that instead of graham crackers.
What?
And then I died of a diabetic.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, something diabetic episode, I guess. I'm not diabetic, but like, you know, it made me.
It was like the potential for it was rising.
Yeah. Hyperglycemic shock, ketoacidosis, I believe is what that is called.
Damn.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, great. 'Cause, you know, Halloween's around the corner. I don't know if you've got your snacks yet, but like,
oh my gosh, I'm trying so hard to avoid sugar, and so like I went to the grocery store and I got like they made like these little bags with like cheap toys. Right. There was like 15, and I also didn't want my house to get egged. So I went and got the Caramel Lovers edition of things, which is like everything I love. And that was a mistake because my house is still going to get egged because I think I've eaten like half that bag.
Oh, no. Yeah. There'll be like 3 pieces.
Yeah. It's I live on a kind of street where people don't really go anyway. Like they walk past my house and they're like, we don't go to that house.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I get candy anyway, you know? But it's mostly for me.
I feel that.
Yeah.
That's why I want to stock up. But we might have to be weary of people egging because like a little while ago, my buddy Jibo, his truck got egged outside of our house.
No.
Yeah, and like it wasn't like a series of egging. It was just like one egg, but you know that they had that one egg specifically for his car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he works at a he works at a roofing company in Park City, and he sells roofs. So he's got this giant GMC that's like got stickers of his company all over it. So people are like, douchebag all the time, just like hurling eggs at his shit. And I'm just like, oh no.
I know like people joke about egging all the time, but it's like for real, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's
hard.
It's not a thing that you just wash off. It'll eat the paint. Like it causes very real damage. Plus, I like to think it's kind of a form of psychological warfare, and
it totally
people
is.
are stressed enough.
You're like, screw this person specifically.
Yeah,
when you do
exactly.
that. Nobody else got egged. What the hell? I'm just in and out of here. I swear.
Yeah. I'm vegan.
I'm vegan. Why would you do this? How dare you? This is a 2017.
This is a 2017 prefab. How dare you? So anyway, no one has egged you at your parties, I'm guessing.
No, thank God. We're waiting for it though.
Yeah.
Nah. We usually keep it good. It's crazy, like the vibe at our show, which by the way, if Jibo, when he hears this, since I'm doing the podcast on behalf of all three of us, I said vibes, so now you have to take a drink of a beer because he says vibes all the time. Yeah. But anyway,
I only invited you. It's not like it's not, sorry, Jibo.
True. And Randy.
Yeah.
You here in spirit.
We'll get him next time.
Yeah.
We'll do a follow-up to this. So basically, I mean, so you kind of reset on the label topic.
Yeah.
And like this is an interesting thing to me to like, it seems like most people when they start a career in the entertainment industry in whatever branch, you start with like one specific thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And for the most part, the people who are successful have learned to pivot, right? Because usually what you set out to do originally, a lot of times has already been done, right?
Yeah.
And in your case, with record labels, that's a lot harder thing to run now more than ever.
Totally.
And so, I mean, tell us a little bit more about kind of like the end goal of it. We're talking like, doing festivals under Black Void, but kind of like how does that tie back into the record label?
So it didn't initially. I was planning on like changing the course of what we do, like completely into just doing shows and festivals and stuff like that. But like the more that we do it, it seems like more fitting to kind of dive back into it and almost not be like a record label per se, but just like a conglomerate of like local artists and like people who are making media to like work under the same roof and push each other's music and like connect and network with getting more stuff out there. Like since we've been kind of diving back into it and meeting more musicians than we had been before even, and very talented ones, it's been like it's been like bubbling to like make more music amongst themselves.
Yeah. And
so while we're like kind of focused on doing this show part of it and kind of getting people to do more live performance in front of like a larger audience, like at our green rooms and stuff, like we let all the local artists and stuff like come hang out and just like drink and talk amongst themselves. And it's been like, it's almost like they're doing their own like mixer at our shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been like and
It's
I
like
think
that back
that's
room in an awards show kind of thing almost.
yeah. So in a way, it's not. I don't think we'll operate quite like a record label in the future, but like we'll in a way that um it's like everybody is working
Mm-hmm.
on their own thing, but
Yeah.
like together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of like a collective.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. Like, I mean, you are a millennial, and it's kind of
Right.
interesting, as am I, and it's kind of interesting to see like how we've kind of changed that whole thing. Like, you get like ride shares and like this whole share collective
Yeah.
culture, and I think it's because it's. I mean, whatever facet of life you're going into right now, it's
Hmm.
like it's becoming increasingly difficult to succeed on your own.
Yeah.
And you know, not to like lean too heavily on the Beatles, but like, you require the help of your friends, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
and so it's an interesting idea, and I think a really good one that, instead of just being like, hey, let me fund your record and make some money, it's, hey, welcome, come on in, like here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And, to me, it seems you're kind of helping merge with what I think is the inevitable reality now more than ever. Like, you can't have just a concert hardly at all anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like, it has to be a spectacle.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think to come together as like a group and be like, visuals and music and everything just kind of all under one roof. Like, I think you're
Hmm.
kind of taking that vision the next step in a lot of ways. Um,
Thank you.
and I think we were kind of talking about this before I started recording. Like, the party idea is great because now it's, instead of like, hey, come up, focus solely on the DJ and just not quite know what to do with your hands.
Right.
It's, hey, come have a party, and all, by the way, there's this really cool lineup that's going to
Yeah.
be the soundtrack to your good time.
Exactly.
Um, is there anything that you've learned along the way that you think was like, this is something that people have to know?
Yeah. Um so like it's been occurring to us that like a lot of people um they get a lot of influence um from these like sources that just kind of come up sporadically, and I've noticed that like if you just keep your eye on the prize, like there's people that have like tried to do us wrong here and there, or like they think that what you're doing isn't making any sense. But if it like makes sense to you and it's like a unique thing and like it's never been done before, then like totally go for it, because I feel like that's what the scene especially here is missing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's companies like us, like Brownies and Lemonade or Space Yacht in like LA and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing like quite like what we're doing here. And even those guys aren't like, I mean they potentially could, but I don't imagine they're going to be operating like a record label in the
Yeah.
future. They'll probably just be doing parties, but
Yeah.
like I think just staying the course and like true to yourself, because I almost like scrapped everything and threw it away, but like the core like ideas and values that I had initially like starting Black Void totally like carried over, and like now my friends more than ever are very like about that, you know what I mean? And anything that's not what we have envisioned for it is
Mm-hmm.
like getting cut, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right on. So, how do people find out like about upcoming Black Void events?
Um, usually through our Instagram. We promote heavily on Instagram. We do have a Facebook presence, but it's not as like, I guess, gripping as our
Mm-hmm.
Instagram presence is, because we have so much like
So visually
media, and
oriented.
it's super easy to just like whip out your phone and do like an Instagram post versus like there's something about Facebook, I feel like it's more like it's more thought out, and
Yeah.
rather than like Instagram is just kind of on the fly. Like, I mean, you can curate things for both of them
Yeah.
to work, but I feel like it's easier for also people to get on nowadays. Like people can just like open Instagram and just see like just straight media as opposed to like, people looking at like, what you had for lunch today or like whatever.
But, or listening to your terrible political opinion.
Yeah. And that specifically. Like we just like everybody just wants to see like good food, hot chicks, and like some crazy performance that's happening. Like, and it kind of
maybe a stunt gone horribly awry that involves a broken femur. Like if the femur's broken, I will watch it. Yeah,
totally. like that whole like the Barstool Sports thing. Like I don't think I see their stuff anywhere else besides Instagram, and they've always got like, their ear to the ground in complete debauchery and stuff like that.
I don't follow Barstool Sports as much as I know I should. I know they've got the I think most famous punter ever right now, Pat McAfee, is like heavily involved with Barstool Sports.
Oh, seriously? I didn't even know that.
And I think he's really funny. And
dope.
Also like was great at punting, which is a weird thing to say. I think there are like two great punters in the NFL that I've ever seen, and it's Pat McAfee and my main man Johnny Hecker from the Rams. Complete
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like Instagram, I really think is how most people are marketing nowadays. A lot of people that roll through, I'm like, so how do people get find out about your stuff? Do you have a website that Instagram?
Yeah, we do have a website, but I don't know. There's something about like getting that traffic that's not as like conducive as Instagram, and I think it's because everybody has like Instagram.
I think you use Instagram to direct people to your website if you need them to contact you.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So what is the your Instagram handle and website then?
So our Instagram handle is Black Void, just BLAQVOID, and then our website is just blackvoid.com, and we've got like merchandise set up, and then it'll tell you like when the next show is happening. You can also purchase tickets from there or our Instagram. Honestly, we've got ticket links there as well. And then that's pretty much it. It'll tell you like stuff that we've got coming up. I think Randy's been editing it, so you might see like more just like content on our website, because we're like getting all this new stuff like mixes and different things like that. So it'll be a good way to kind of just display it all, and hopefully we can use our Instagram as like a segue to our website.
Awesome.
Stuff like that, just as time kind of goes along.
Yeah. Right on, man. Well, thanks for talking to me today.
Yeah.
I wish you the best of luck. I think you've got an awesome thing going, and I'm excited to watch it kind of like grow and develop. I think you have a really good idea. So
I appreciate it, man.
I hope to hang out with you again soon. Maybe we'll do like a Black Void event in here in the near future.
We can, and also so you can meet Jibo and Randy, those guys.
Yes,
I really couldn't do it without them.
Nice,
like at all.
And you guys are always at the shows, right? So people can stop by, put a face to the name, and
people can too. And we go to a lot of local events as well. So like, if you see us out, like say hi. I'm sure one of us will give you a sticker or bug you. You know what I mean?
Right on. At least a hearty handshake.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
totally. It's all love over here.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for talking to me today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Fast Attack Slow Release is brought to you by Performance Audio. Check us out at www.performanceaudio.com. I want to thank Drew from Black Void for talking to me today. Visit his Instagram at Black Void. Check him out at www.blackvoid.com for more information on upcoming shows and parties. They're a good time. Thanks for joining me. Again, my name is Nate Brown, and we'll see you next time.